I want to welcome you to the channel. My name's Quentin, my wife's Amy, and we're with Making Memories in Life Together. So this weekend we're taking a short little trip with a friend of mine. Came down from Nebraska. I hadn't seen him in quite a while. We decided to go do some camping. And first night here, we're decided to come out and look at something that I've been wanting to do for a while. It's about an hour from our house. I know a lot of people's made videos on it, but you don't really appreciate it till you get out here and actually see this thing. So we came out here to look at Big Brutus, and we'll kind of zoom around. Guys, you don't appreciate the size of this thing till you're standing right next to it. I mean, this thing is huge. And we kind of got out here this evening and just kind of walked around it. They don't have it open. We'll take the tour tomorrow and kind of look at it and go through it, and we'll record some of it. But yeah, it's a really nice place. We're camped. I don't know if you can see it kind of back here in the back. He's got a truck camper and we got our truck camper out there. Just a beautiful evening. So we're gonna maybe get out and cook a little bit tonight, maybe visit some, and then tomorrow we'll go walk through that, take some videos, take you guys along, let you see what the inside of that sucker looked like. That's amazing. They only ran that thing for 11 years before they parked it. And that in itself is just nuts, because I'm sure that probably cost a pretty penny to build that. But yeah, it's a pretty nice place. They've got all kinds of equipment and trucks. And then back here in the back, they got a building with a museum in it. So anyways, yeah, we will take you guys along tomorrow and show you what the rest of it looks like. Thank you. Morning, guys. So we're out here. Big Brutus. Just went through the museum. That's kind of where we're camped at. Got Kevin's crazy dog over barking. She's watching for him. Yeah, she's been doing that the whole time we were in the museum. Old Butch is in the camper sleeping, being a good dog. I think it's some crazy Nebraska people, I think. He's not saying anything. So yeah, this is the museum, and they've got a lot of big buckets out here. I think that was a big draggling bucket. And they've got the back flap for it right there. And then this is the museum. Got a little movie theater in there. You can watch the history on Big Brutus. That was pretty neat to watch. They've got a lot of different models of different shovels that was built over the years. And there's Amy and Kevin. So some of the trucks that they used to move the coal once they got the overburden removed. So Big Brutus was just built to remove overburden. And then they would come in with smaller drag-link shovels, and they would remove the coal with that. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty neat. You got a lot of different equipment, you know. And some of it's not open pit mining, like this right here, I think was from mining in an actual mine shaft. So it said it was a short wall saw. It was used to undercut the coal seam. Then they drilled and collapsed the coal seam for removal. Yeah, that was the Kruger mine out of Kansas. So I think that was actually a underground mine. But Got a lot of different neat things out here that they've kind of acquired. And the lady inside said that this is the only big shovel left. You know, they had the big muskie and I think they demolished it or scrapped it. So Big Brutus is the last one, which I think is pretty neat that they saved it. You know, I mean, that's history. And these things are just monsters. It's unbelievable the size of these things. She said in 1970s, the electric bill to operate this thing was $28,000 a month, and ran on 3-phase electricity that was provided, and maximum speed was 0.22 miles per hour. Said it could complete a cycle, so from start digging to dumping and returning back to dig, 60 seconds, which is pretty impressive considering the size of this thing. You know, and the camera really doesn't do it any justice. I mean, it just, I mean, look at that. That's a little dozer and another shovel parked next to it. So the bucket, to give you perspective of how big the bucket is, in the video, they backed a D9 Caterpillar dozer, a D9, into the bucket. That is not a small dozer. So, you know, that is amazing. I mean, just absolutely amazing. But I mean, look at the size of this thing, folks. I mean, and once Amy and them get down here, we'll let them stand beside it. But you can actually stand inside the tracks and stand inside the tracks. That's how big this thing is. You know, I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. You know, I mean, that's me reaching up and I'm just barely touching it. Kind of sank into the ground a little bit, but the city of Pittsburgh, Kansas, I guess, had a lot to do with acquiring this thing and helping preserve it, which is kind of neat. They tried to get the state of Kansas to buy it for a museum and was turned down. They didn't want to do it, and ended up the city of Pittsburgh and some other people got involved. And the P&M mine actually donated this, and actually not only donated, but they gave $100,000 towards preservation of Big Brutus. So they came in and restored her. And those jacks, those round things, the legs that you see, actually are big hydraulic jacks and would raise the whole superstructure by 5 feet higher than what it's sitting right now. And that's how it leveled itself out. But yeah, it is just, I mean, it's just truly, truly amazing. You know. So here's the bucket. And it's windy. I hope that the audio turns out on this thing. I'd be kind of disappointed if it didn't turn out, but so just to give you a perspective of the bucket. So that's the bucket on this thing. And if I look back and kind of zoom in, that's Amy and Kevin walking around up there. And now you can see the scope and the size of this thing. I mean, it is just phenomenal. But yeah, so they built a stage for this thing. And I mean, I can't can't even get the whole thing in the shot, you know. But, you know, the thing that impressed me is if you look at the catwalk and look at the stairs going over it and the rollers. I mean, that just gives you perspective of the size and the scale of this. You know, there's the operator's booth up there. You know, and the amazing thing is it only took 3 people to operate this thing. You know, that's what's really crazy. Had an oiler, an operator, and I forget what the third position was. I know they had a guy that all his job was is to keep the grease and hydraulic fluid topped off. And then that's the roller up there. So they had, I believe it was like a 4-inch cable that they spooled up on that, because this thing was run by electricity, it's all electric motors. And they would spool that on there, and that's what they powered Big Brutus. So as it was walking, they would unspool the cable as it was going. You can kind of see the rollers where the cable came down and came through. You know, and I mean, we're underneath the machine. You know, I mean, this is just, you know, so this is the steering cylinders that actually went to the tracks, and then it had a drag link on the side here that kind of made sure that they steered, you know, at the same time, same direction, you know. Then this square tube you see here, that's an elevator. So this thing had a built-in elevator in it, you know. I mean, look at the bench sitting next to the track here. So it had an elevator, and I'll kind of walk around here. There's another bench, gives you a size. There's a 50-gallon drum, you know. So there's the elevator. Isn't that crazy? You know, I mean, that it's just nuts. You know. But anyways, let's kind of walk up here. You can kind of see stairways going up, and that's how you got to the elevator. You know. So we'll go up here. Well, let's look at this. It says, "Welcome to Big Brutus." It's just no smoking, no drinking. Must accompany children under 12 years. So there's Amy. Amy's standing inside that track there. Just to give you perspective.
5'7".
5'7", and she's standing inside of that. You know, that is just nuts. But anyways, we're gonna go up the stairs here. You know, there's the drum again. Some more stairs. And then there's a set of stairs that goes up even further. So we'll kind of go up that. Pretty steep. Yeah. Give you a perspective of the bucket from here. You can kind of see Kevin's dog running around down there. You know, there's Amy. Give you perspective on the size. There's that. You know, what's neat is So they've got all these wheels. So the house actually rotates 360 degrees. And what kind of tickled me is I've seen these rollers before. They used the same setup on the battleships, turrets, all these wheels. So it was almost the same design as what they used on the battleships. Which is pretty neat. There you can see the dozer, the smaller shovel. Which that shovel by itself, that one there's, you know, I mean, that's the size of a track hoe. There's Kevin's dog running around. So now we're actually going into the actual machine here. They got a hatch. Kind of have to take your time getting up here. Yeah, now you're actually inside of it, inside the actual house of the machine. You know, I mean, it is just amazing. You know, I went through some of the battleships, and it's almost like the same design almost. There you can see the hydraulic jack, you know. Like I said, to me, it's almost like the battleships that you see with the watertight compartments and the hatches. But I mean, look at the size of the steel. I mean, that's my finger, you know. That's probably 3/4 inch. All the cables, you know. I mean, the size of the cable compared to my finger. It's just a maze walking through here. But I haven't gone that way yet. There's Amy. Give you a perspective on how big this thing is on the inside.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, what you hid. Feels like you're walking through a submarine. Yeah, that's a little low. So when you come through here, you kind of have to. But it's got some information and stuff on Big Brutus. They've also got several different models of different shovels that was built over the years that was used in coal mining. You know, just kind of neat. There's the River Queen. Window looking outside. You know.
Not small up here.
All right. Amy says it's getting grandiose up here, so let's see. Oh wow. This is crazy. Wow, guys. I mean, look at the size of this. This is nuts. Unbelievable. So this must have been where the motors, yeah, this is the motor mounts. So these were the big motors that I guess operated Big Brutus. You know. There were two 3,500 horsepower electric AC motors mounted on the center. These motors operated 13 DC generators, which in turn operated 13 DC motors. The DC motors operated the main winch, swing, and crowd. So there you see the cables. Look at the size of those cables. You know, I bet those things are probably at least 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches in diameter. Look at the ladders going up. It's got its own hoist system built inside the machine, I guess, for servicing these motors. You know, I mean, that's a gantry crane that runs the whole length inside. These are the cables that hold the boom up. This is unbelievable. I mean, just, it's mind-blowing. You got the big winches that ran the shovel. These were the swing gearboxes. 3 gearboxes of this type were used to swing the house. Each was driven by a 750 horsepower direct current electric motor. So this thing ran 3-phase power. There's your elevator, folks. There's the elevator coming up. Remember I showed you that from the bottom? So here's the elevator. There's your up and down buttons. Now here, look at this. Look at this. Hey, Amy. I was going to get her to stand by this. These cables, guys. Now, I don't want to get grease all over me, but there's my arm. You know? Look at the size of these drums. I've seen drums this size before in mining operations. You know, this is what they used to lower and raise the cages, you know, going down. And it's pretty impressive to see and how fast these moved. I mean, you would think something this size wouldn't be very quick. But I remember because my uncle was a hoist driver, and I went with him when I was younger. And so when I talk about hoist driver, he actually ran the hoist up and down the mine shaft. And to see these things turn, they're quick. They're very quick, you know. And I think that's probably pretty close to the same setup. But you got Old Glory. There's the boom. Yeah, this is amazing. All right, so we're coming into, I guess, the operator's suite now. This is nuts. I mean, this is just nuts. Look at this. It looks like an apartment in here. Climate control. There's the bucket. I think we can do it, Kevin. Where's the start button? Even had a heater. AC. Yeah. So it had an operator, a ground man, and an oiler. That was the 3 positions. Remember I told you guys earlier they had the operator, the oiler, and the other one was a groundman. Superintendents, other. So they had electricians, electrician foreman. And there was only, let's see how many operators. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 operators. And the whole time this thing was operational. Old Kevin standing in here looking at the controls. Sit down in that seat, Kevin. See what you look like. I bet you'd look good in that.
I probably crashed it, thing.
That's all right. Oh, he about to fall down anyways.
Yeah. How do you even sit in here? Oh, here we go.
I mean, that looks pretty darn comfy. You know,
Well, that's kind of sucks. Those pedals can be lowered.
I guess that was where you swing pedals,
Probably.
and that's what operated your boom.
Brr, brr, brr. Did they have the...
Had a phenomenal view. I know that. Dadgummit. I mean, you talk about a bird's eye view. Yeah, no. I mean, look at the trees out there. You're almost treetop height.
Up, down. There's a series. Start.
So you hit left retract, up and down. And I guess they probably got the other side on that side, right? Yeah, there's the right.
I don't know.
Hoist brake, emergency stop, crowd brake, swing brake. And then what all that they have on this side?
Fan, air
Compressor, heater, cab light. Yeah, that is
The foot controls are a little
sticky.
too high.
Oh, a little too high for you.
Need some shorter legs.
But yeah, there's the catwalk that we came up earlier. You can see it way down there.
My dog down there
Probably running around looking for you.
probably freaking out. She couldn't get up that last
Steps.
stairs. Hello.
This is just what's so impressive. I mean, just the size of this. Amy, just walk up there, honey. Let me show them the comparison of. Yeah, there we go. I mean, this looks like a factory in here. Do you see the elevator behind you? Look on the other side. That's that elevator I told you about from downstairs. Yeah. The size of that cable and the drums. I mean, that's impressive. That's impressive.
Where did the cables go?
So they had to have gone up, wouldn't you think?
Or are they coming?
You think they maybe went through that right there?
Maybe so.
Well, I would think that they would. I bet they went through that hatch right there. On top. I would almost. They would have to. So. Yeah, I bet they.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Kevin, you know what I'm wondering? Just look at here. See, they've got the. You think they maybe went through this right here?
I saw that, but I don't know.
It almost looked like that. It almost looks like that elevator would have been in the way. You know, so. Yeah, I don't know. They even had a vacuum cleaner back in the 1970s and the mop bucket to keep it clean. You know, keep the dust. Yeah, keep the dust down in here.
Wow, I didn't know
Yeah, yeah,
around that long.
yeah. So you can get a season pass for $20 a year, and they even do
That's where your cable goes.
different events. You know,
Cute.
you got it.
There's big pulleys up top.
Oh, is there big pulleys on top? Ah, there we go. There you go, guys. So if you look up there, you can see the pulleys. So that's probably where those cables went up and over. And then probably went out right there. So that was that big door that we saw earlier, but I don't think that's, if you look on top there, you can see the pulleys. Now what was neat, you notice this thing's got its own gantry crane?
Yeah.
On top. I mean, look at the size of these cables. So yeah, guys, I would definitely recommend coming out here and coming to visit Big Brutus. Definitely. What was the tour? $5?
I think so.
Yeah, $5. I mean, it cost you $5 to come out here and play around on this and look around. You know, and it goes for a good cause. Like I said, this is the only one left from what she said. All the others have been scrapped. So, you know, it's pretty neat. I mean, pretty neat. So, we're going to look around some more, and then we're probably going to head out. We're going to go to the Bourbon Lake, Kansas State Fishing Lake, the last video we made. We kind of went out there and scouted it for when Kevin came down so that we could go camping and fishing. So from here, we're probably going to go down there and camp. But yeah, we're probably going to close the video out here. If you do like the channel, like the content, please like and subscribe. Like I said, we're trying to get better, trying to work on it. Yeah, it's Quentin and Amy with Making Memories and Life Together. And we appreciate you guys coming along. Thank you.